Okay. So what we're going to do to start out, I see there's about 20 of us here, so we're going to have to play it by ear and how we do this. But first, let's get moving. I don't know if I could see everyone on the screen. Maybe with 20 people, we should. Let's see everybody for a second, right, Jay? Let's see everyone.
Yes, go ahead and start your videos so we can say hello.
Yeah, I want to say hello.
Great, some lovely smiling
everybody.
faces.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Look, everybody fits. Everybody's getting smaller and smaller. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So let's do this. 1, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15. We still got a couple of scragglers, but that's okay. Let's do this. Let's get first really fast. We're going to stand up if you can and just get a little bit into it in a sense of loosening up with a simple exercise, usually done to 8, but because of time, we're going to do it to 4. We're going to shake it out, and we're going to shake it out like this. And while you're shaking out, and you do this, we shake out our hands and our feet. If you want, you can think of getting rid of something or bringing some goodness towards you, some love, some healing towards you, whatever you want. So on a count of 1, with any one of the hands you want to feel like, we're going to start shaking it out. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, and 1. Okay. Stretch it out. Get all ready for some fun. Need that energy in improv. I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, when I was learning improv in New York, they'd have you stand like this. That was the stance because you wanted to get ready. You wanted to be attuned to everything going on. So let us, now that we're all nice and relaxed, we're going to go right into it today. The games and the fun we're going to have is actually designed around emotional regulation and not just attunement, which is part of the basis of improv, but also in how do we deal with frustration. And so the games that we have may be a little frustrating and fun at the same time, but we'll take it from there. So that's how we'll have some fun with that. Does anybody have any experience with improv? Great, awesome, perfect, perfect, perfect.
You don't need any.
Good. So let's
going to be
go
fine.
right into the. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's the one thing. Thank you, Jay. The one major rule I have in improv is you can never be wrong. There's no such thing. It's just, it doesn't matter, because the trust and part of the collaboration in groups with improv is, and you all look like very nice people to me, that no one's going to let anyone down. So it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as doing anything wrong. Even if you can't people think that, oh, I have to be funny. No, you don't have to do anything. You just have to follow the rules of the game, and it doesn't matter. And oftentimes you could be like, that's a wonderful word. And we just use it. It doesn't matter. So I wanted to let you know that absolutely, absolutely enjoy yourselves, because there's no such thing as doing anything wrong in improv. Thank you, Jay, for reminding me of that. I was just looking for helpers. That's why I asked about the experience. So we're going to start off with some of the basics of improv, which is, we're not going to do too much teaching. We're just going to play some games. But basically, improv is also known as yes and, is another way that people, just agree and build. And that's the basis of improv. You can't go wrong when you just start off with the words yes and, because you're automatically going to build. You just agreed and you build. So you always agree in improv, and then you build, and that's it. So we're going to start off. Oh, I see a question. Top left quadrant. Wait, your mic is off. And
I guess I struggle with yes and. I have drama therapy background in that. What if it's a microaggression or something that's hurtful or offensive? My first reaction is no and.
Right, great point. So no microaggressions allowed. So in improv, it's a good point. We try to keep it, I always say often we don't personalize. So I'm not going to say Jay walked into a store. I'm going to say some guy walked into a store. And so we try not to personalize. And if there is sometimes, if you feel that, we didn't have, we did put up the rules, right? Did we put up the courtesy rules?
We did not. I can share those now.
Yes, let's put up the courtesy rules. I thought
Yeah.
they were in there. I'm sorry. Yes. Boom, courtesy rules.
Great.
So here you can see it's a safe place, make others look and feel great. So your job, which is awesome, is to make everyone else look fantastic. Give respect, one person at a time, hate speech, any demeaning, anybody that gets upset over anything, maintain a safe, respectful environment. There's a really cool thing called ouch, oops. Since our intention is love and healing and support, accidentally, I might say, I don't like tall guys with glasses. They're nuts. And then Jay would be like, ouch. And I would just say, oops. And we leave it at that because now I know it wasn't intentional. So that's kind of the courtesy rules, which we'll try to be respectful. But I'm glad you brought that up, Reggie, because yeah, that is, so we have the ouch and oops in place in case there's any of those microaggressions or anything
I'll just
like
add,
that.
there are no rules in improv. There are things that we do that generally make for a better time. Yes, and almost always makes for a better time. If you're in a situation where the correct answer is no, and sometimes the correct answer is no, say no. For your own safety, for the audience's safety, for whatever reason, if that's the correct answer, you are empowered to say no.
Absolutely.
But generally, when we yes and we're building and agreeing and we're going to come up with something very awesome the vast majority of the time.
Awesome. Also, April, if you're listening out there in April land, if you could assign Jay and I some numbers.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Just because I can't, I don't know which ones we'll end up being. And even if we have to steal someone else's, so we're not back to back, but that's good. All right. So here you notice you have numbers. Just try to be a little bit aware of who, and when there's a big group like this, who's before you, who's after you. When the breakout rooms, it'll just go numerical. So it might go, 3, 7, 14. So we just go in that order. So the first game was a yes and game. Is we're going to give an offer, accept the offer, yes and just add to it. And that's it. So as simple, and that's literally it. We just want to get used to the rhythm here of saying yes and. Now, I don't think everyone is on the screen right now. So I wanted to see if there was a way to do that with everyone on the screen if we can. If not, if you feel like coming on right before your number, that's fine.
Or if you're not comfortable coming on screen, just when it's your turn, make sure that you're loud and clear and unmuted so that we can hear you participating.
Exactly. Thank you. So I'm just going to give an example with Jay, even though number 13, really, I guess that was reserved. Okay. So it's a beautiful day out today.
Yes, and the birds are chirping.
That's it. All we did was agree and build. So we're going to start with number 1 and move it on up and going around. So I see the challenge here is going to be, you're not going to know who's before you because you might not see the number before you. So if that's the case, if you're off camera, like I know Meryl is after me and I'm 13, I'm going to say Meryl just to give her a heads up. So if you can, give the person a heads up when it's your turn. Does that make sense? That'll be easier now. So this way, I think it might get a little tricky, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
Let's try it. We'll improvise. Let's start with number 1. Who's
That's
number 1?
me.
All right.
Okay, so I just saw a beautiful butterfly outside. Andrea.
And the sky is blue with a few white fluffy clouds.
Excellent.
Chelsea. Oops.
No,
And
that's
this
right,
bird.
Andrea. Now you're going to give one to Chelsea. Go ahead. So Andrea, you're gonna give the offer. Your mic is right there. You go.
They're not everyone's numbered.
Okay. And so now what am I'm saying one and then
Yes,
giving,
you're gonna say
Okay.
one also, right?
and I'm going from what she said.
No, you're just gonna make up a new thing completely.
You don't, actually, you don't have to make a new thing. You said yes and the birds and the sky and you're sending that to Chelsea. Chelsea's going to yes that.
Okay, let's do that much faster. Excellent.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead,
Big
Chelsea.
white
Yes, Ann.
fluffy clouds, Chelsea.
Yes, and the sun is shining brightly on my face. Diana.
Yes, the sun is shining brightly on my face and I'm starting to feel heated. Guy.
Yes, the sun is shining on my face, and I just pulled up in my car, and the sun is still shining on my face. I'm sorry, I can't see who's next. Number 6.
Oh, that's me. Yes. And I have been running all day long. 7. Jen.
Yes, and I'm so tired. I'm going to lay down right here and take a nap on the sidewalk. Jennifer.
Yes, and I'm actually ready to lay on my bed. Sorry, Elaine, and I am seeing your beautiful windows.
And the windows provide me a snapshot of what's going on in nature around me. I'm feeling very grateful. Lee Jiang.
Oh, the window provided me a beautiful view of the garden with all the flower, as well as the sound of the wind chime comes through. So now I don't see number 11. Where is number 11? The name, I can't see the name of 11. Oh, I see. Ma.
It looks like Ma's just gonna hang back for the moment. So let's go on to 12.
Oh, let me find 12. Where is the number 12?
That's Maria.
Oh, okay. Hi, Maria. That's you then.
And I feel like dancing.
Yes, and thank goodness there's a mariachi band showed up. 14, not in view of my view.
I think we lost 14.
15.
Yes, and I'm gonna put on a flowery dress.
Great. 16.
16.
17.
Duck, everyone. Oh no, there comes a Marvel Comics superhero.
Nice. 18.
Yes, and they're dancing to the mariachi music.
Nice.
Perfect. Richard.
And now a marching band is coming and they are swirling around the mariachi music. And Tamari.
Mari?
Yes, and I'm going to join them. Alice.
Yes, and I'm gonna start dancing in circles. I don't know, next number is 22.
Jocelyn.
Yes. And now I think I'm gonna get a headache. Time for me to go and lie down once again and stare outside the windows. Ping. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm sorry.
realized I was participating. And yes, I am going to eat my popcorn and have my sparkling water as I enjoy the sound of the mariachi music and feel the sun on my face and lie down on the ground with a nice fluffy blanket.
Excellent, excellent. I think that's it, right? The 24th is April, or is there a 24?
There's one more.
One more.
Laura?
Hi, I logged in late, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Perfect.
We're just doing a little yes and, so you're just going to agree with what the person before you said and then add something based off of what's been said already. Anything you want.
Yes, and Ping said Ping, can you repeat what you said? Yes, and.
Sure. Yes, and I'm going to dance to the mariachi music, and I'm going to feel the sun on my face, and I'm going to lie down on the ground and get a nice fluffy blanket. Oh, and I was going to eat my popcorn and have my sparkling water.
Yes, and the sparkling water is so refreshing, and I am going to plunge backwards into a big, big ocean blue.
Great.
Beautiful. Excellent, excellent. So that's improv at its best right there. I love it, the receiving of everything, looking out for everything, for everyone. That's what it's about. So we're going to go into, that's fantastic. We're going to go into our next activity, which we will probably have a breakout rooms of 8. 3 breakout rooms looks like would do the trick. And here, this is a game called 5 Words or Less. Jay, you could explain it. You're a good explainer.
Yeah, so normally in a scene, you can say whatever you want, as much as you want. In 5 words or less, you're going to wait before you respond, and there's going to be a caller, a third person who's not in the scene, who's going to tell you how many words you're going to respond that time with. So if Neil and I are in a scene and somebody calls out 3 before Neil speaks, then Neil's going to say exactly 3 words.
So we'll demonstrate that real quickly with Reiji. If you don't mind, just call out numbers 1 to 5. So here also, the caller has a lot of power, right? And can really frustrate someone. Imagine you want to get a point across, and here you really have to be so focused on what the other person is saying that you don't have time to shift it back. It's like, oh, I can't wait till that elephant walks into 7-Eleven, and it's like one word, elephant, and they're like, flew away. And like, oh crap, now what? So that's why it's the most being in the moment that you'll ever experience is improv, which translates into when you're communicating to really be aware of the other person and not have that noise. How often does that happen? Everyone is guilty. Someone's telling you a story about like, oh, I had this great hamburger in New York, and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell them about the one that I had in Rochester. Was this whole thing happened with my cut? I can't, and you're just thinking about that, and then you're just like, okay, are you done yet? And then boom, there was no active listening, nothing happened. So here, you're kind of forced to really be focused on that and frustrated. So give us an example here. We're just gonna start off a story. Jay and I will be telling a story. Jay can start off. Reggie is going to just call numbers 1 through 5, and we'll see what happens. As an example.
Okay, so I'm going to call the numbers.
Any numbers? Yep, 1 through
5. 22.
No, 1 through what? No, just call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the number of words that Jay and I can use.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. So just say one of those words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of those numbers.
Okay, 4.
Nice to meet you. Now call another number for me.
Now call another number as soon as he's done.
Oh, 5.
Yes, it's nice to see.
3.
Oh, you can?
2.
Thank God.
4.
It's a miracle. Yes.
Now that could be the scene right there. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? It was like we took it to like, I have vision now, and that was the beginning, middle, and it'll go longer than that, but I wanted to get everybody in the rooms and practice that. Yes, Jay.
Yeah, and so I want to call out something cool that happened there, right? So Neil's first response, he's just like, yeah, it's nice to see you. But he had only 4 words. So he got to, it's nice to see, and stopped there. And you could argue that that was a mistake, an error, right? But in improv, all those little things that don't go the way we planned aren't problems. They're treasure, right? That gave us what the scene was about. Suddenly we realized that his character was now able to see. Which we never would have come up with that on our own if not for that little, oh, here's a restriction, and here's what happened, and it wasn't what we planned, and now we've got something new to chase.
Right. Thank you very much, Jay, which goes back to everything is okay. Everything in improv, there's no mistakes. Like he said, those are what they grow from. When you follow the rules, that's what it grows from. Excellent, excellent. So let's randomly, so we're going to do that. So in your breakout rooms of probably around 8 people, you're going to have 1 caller and then 2 people, and then just do the other 3, and everybody will get a chance. We'll do that for 8 minutes. It was going to be 10, but we're running out. Let's do 8 minutes and see what happens. All right, so we'll see you in the breakout room.
2 minutes for each pair to do a scene. Tony, you had a question?
Yes, could you clarify the instructions again, please?
So we're going to send about 8 of you into a breakout room, which is just going to be a separate space where it'll be just the 8 of you. 2 of you are going to start a scene, and the third one of you is going to be the caller. So just very quickly, if you want to do it alphabetically or by number, it doesn't matter, right? 2 of you are going to be in a scene. The other person's the caller, and the caller is just every time it's somebody's turn to speak, you're just going to say number between 1 and 5, and that's how many words that person is going to try to use in their sentence. And we're going to have about 8 minutes for this exercise. So you're probably going to have 4 pairs. So each pair will have about 2 minutes to do that.
Excellent. Any other questions on that? Oh, good. All right, let's go and have fun.
Nice work.
Excellent. Excellent. Everybody's back. So how did that feel?
So much fun.
Fun. Excellent. Excellent. Did you feel a little challenged that you only had a few words?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. And Ajay, we had something new. A guy called out the number 2.5.
How'd that go?
It went okay. It went okay. I believe it could be like a stutter on the word, that you're in the middle of.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah, I wrote it down to talk about. It's like, that's really good. And and it's probably a lot of fun, right? Because you're building scenes out of nothing happening, and you went with it. So that's fantastic. Let's move on to our next game, one of our failure exercises.
Hey, Neil?
Yes.
I just want to report that it was Richard who called out the 2.5. Isn't that true, Richard?
That is true. I'm sorry. You're right, Richard. There you go. I was looking at the top screen. Okay, excellent. It was Richard. Thank you very much. Richard.
I can't stop laughing.
Right, you're the one that can't stop laughing.
That's right.
It's all coming back to me now. So this next activity is called fail ball. And here we're gonna fail. So we're just gonna throw a ball around in the breakout rooms. And when we throw them, we're gonna mime throwing them, and we're gonna fail. We're gonna miss the ball. Now, for example, and then you can add whatever you like to that. So here's a little example. I see Jay on the screen. I hope everybody could see Jay. Jay, go ahead and throw me the ball. Oh, man.
Sorry about that, Neil. Ooh.
That's okay. You broke my timer too.
All right, good job, good job.
Excellent. So no matter what, it's a good job. So you're failing at catching the ball, and you can fail in any way you like.
Right, so the only rules of this game are somebody throws you the ball, you must fail to catch it, and then everyone applauds. Every time.
Everyone celebrates that failure of missing the ball, or whatever we want to call it. It's not a failure, that option of missing the ball. So we're going to do that. We're going to see what happens, and anything's fine. You're going to see how it goes. Let's break out.
I have a question.
Got it.
After we miss the ball, do we throw it to someone else?
Yes.
So we pick it up then and throw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question. All right, so that felt a lot better when you failed to catch the ball and people applauded you, right? That support is huge. Knowing that you can go on stage and you can do awesome work, you can do weird work, you can do you can mess up. As long as your partners on stage have got your back and they're cheering you on, the audience is gonna think you did that on purpose and that it's great. Neil, you're muted.
Thank you. Oh, fantastic. A good point, Jay. And some really good players there. I like Lee was definitely up to date with failure and like mentioning it. That was good. A very creative stuff. Richard probably needs to see a doctor by now. Several concussions. How did that feel? Was there any comments on that?
I have a question.
Yes.
We applaud every time somebody doesn't catch it before they throw it to somebody else, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused a little bit by that. Okay. Thank you.
If you're confused, wait till this next game. Oh yes, a question, Tony.
Yes, in real life, would this still be a pretend ball or would you use a real ball?
Still be a pretend ball.
Yeah. And what do you mean in real life? So the next activity actually grew from this one. And here, this one was called fail ball. This is called fail activity. So now that you're having a direct connection with someone in the breakout room, so if I'm going to have a direct connection with Jay, I'm going to do an activity. So I might ask him, I'm like, oh, Jay, can you just give me your right shoulder for a second?
Oh, yeah.
And whatever activity, I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So he's going to purposely say something different than what I'm doing. So I failed at the activity. So I'm going to be doing this, which may look like, like something nice that I'm giving a massage or whatever, but his interpretation is going to be frustrating that I failed at what I was doing, what I was trying to convey.
You missed the spider every time. Come on. Oh, I can't believe you missed that many times.
So there, right, it's frustrating. So if you're in a conversation and you're trying to get something across and the other person completely either purposely look over, it could be frustrating. So here we're going to purposely look over what the person's actually doing. And even if you know, sometimes you might not know because we're miming through a machine. So it might not be as accurate as miming in front of someone, but it adds to that game where the player knowingly or unknowingly misinterprets what the first player was doing. And then that player will go ahead and do it to someone else, something completely different. Does everyone understand that game?
Can you repeat it one more time?
Sure. So we're going to mime an activity. So in this case, and if I would do something to Jay, so this person is going to do an activity, perform something to the other person, miming wise.
Well, so let's just say you're doing an activity. It doesn't have to be to the other person because that.
Okay, an activity. Yeah, an activity. And then the other person will purposely misinterpret it. So if, let's say Jay, so I'm like, hey, Jay. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow, that looks fantastic how you're cleaning the back of your cat while it's hanging upside down. So that's a little frustrating for him because it's like, I'm trying to get my point across. I'm a cat lover, so I just don't. And that's how I wash my cat. So everybody understand now? So you don't have, you could do your own activity or you can do the one to somebody.
Yeah, and so here, as soon as Neil has said that instead of painting a wall, that I was washing my cat, then he's going to do an activity, and the next person is going to call out what that isn't. Just
So go in the order, I guess, with the numbers in the breakout. And in this case, we can, because the breakouts are pretty manageable now. There's like 7 or 8. So,
Demonstrate it quickly.
sure, we can demonstrate again, and let's do that. So here I will be asking, Jay, could you pucker up your lips for a second there?
Sure. Okay, but you didn't get all the hairs off that you were plucking off my lips, so I'm gonna need my Groupon back. Okay, and all right.
So then.
I've been working on this for a while. I hope you like it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love the way you're fitting those little people with hats.
Right. And then, so we just keep going with new peoples, right? Somebody else would get in there. Neil would do an activity and somebody would name Neil's activity. Cool.
All righty. Let's go to the fabulous breakout room.
Do you want 15 minutes for this one?
No.
No, okay.
I think 10 minutes should suffice in this one.
And just because we set up this interpersonal possibility, I will remind you of the ouch oops tool, right? If something's not comfortable, just say ouch, the person will say oops, and we'll do something else and move on.
Exactly.
Excuse me, what was the name of this last exercise?
Well, since we just created it, I think fail activities. What do you say, Jay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Fail activity.
Not for the marketing campaign, but just for this fail activities, known as FA, for those in the business. So how did that feel?
I noticed a lot more spontaneity and playfulness came out with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And how did it feel that you could be accepted for doing it wrong? Like your job was to do it wrong. I did
Felt
notice.
very freeing.
Very freeing.
There's so many possibilities that are available.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so in improv, we're making everything up. We're making up who we are, where we are, what we're doing, and we have to try to communicate that to our scene partner and to the audience. And sometimes we're not going to get everything across immediately. And so it's very common, this particular, like it's not uncommon that I'll say something and my partner will misinterpret me. But it's very common that I'll be, okay, I'm a mad scientist in a lab and I'm mixing chemicals and that's what I think that I've set up. And my partner will come in and say, I just don't think that tiny portrait is aligned right. And now, because that's what has been said, that's what it was all along. I won't say, no, I'm not aligning a portrait, I'm mixing chemicals. No, I was always aligning a portrait. I may still be, a mad scientist in my head. So I may be like, no, I'll get this right to the nanometer. But it's definitely what my partner said it was all along. And that can be a gift as well as a frustration, as long as we give up the fact that we don't have 100% control and it's going to be okay.
Excellent. I do see that in all the time zones, we ran out of time. And however, I'm open to another breakout room for the final game. If anyone wants to stay, if there's no laundry to be hung or children to be fed.
I would stay, and I'm sorry, I mixed up my time zone thing, so I came late, but if you have any worksheets or like handouts or whatever, or I could get a link of the full thing so I could see what I missed, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, I think that April can manage that.
We will have a link available to view the recording within the next few weeks.
Oh, there you go. What? What are you talking about, grandkids? Ping? Not
Yeah.
you, Ping.
Some of you have to run. That's okay. You're good to go. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Anyone who
Yeah,
can stay,
absolutely.
play for one more game. But yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, if you can, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for showing up. And
Thank
what
you,
we'll
Neil
do
and
is-
Jay.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ping, it's so good to see you, Ping. My day is full. My heart is full. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll get an April official count.
Yeah, so we should call out what April put into the chat. There's a quick survey that you can fill out. You don't have to do it right now, but just grab that link so that you can fill that out.
And I'll email that as well.
Thank you.
Afterwards.
And oh, wait, I could see that. So we got 17 people, and we could still do 3 breakout rooms for this next game. This is a fun game called Yes, That's Right. Jay, the explainer.
Okay, yes, that's right. 3 people are going to take a turn. The first person is going to ask the second person any question. It's often like, how does this work, or what's up with that? Why is the sky blue? Some kind of trivia question or science question. It doesn't matter, just any question. And then the person that they ask it to, person number 2, is going to give any answer to that question as long as it is not the scientifically correct answer. Okay, so why is the sky blue? Because God is wearing his blue bunny PJs today. Whatever, right? Or whatever you want to say, as long as it's not the correct answer. And then the third person is going to say, yes, that's right. And then they're going to explain why that answer was correct. God has been right outside of Earth. They're the size of the universe. And so whatever they're wearing is what we see. They tend to wear black with little white polka dots at night, whatever.
Right. So they explain it. So the second person's answer then is succinct, Jay? It's just
It doesn't have to be, I mean, we don't want to go on for too long. It doesn't have to be succinct. It just has to be wrong.
It has to be wrong. And the third person says,
Explain
yes,
to
that's right. And yeah.
Okay, so one person asks the question, the second person gives the answer, the third person says, that's why, yes, that's right.
Exactly.
Gives the wrong answer, yes. And then we'll go around. Let's break it up, break it out. This is a fun activity, everybody. So how is that for everyone? You can unmute yourselves here in public.
A blast.
Feels good, right? It's like a conspiracy of liars, which is kind of what improv is.
I feel it really gets your mind has to churn up, so and it's fun.
Really fun.
Yeah, I think I need practice at it.
So in here, while I just have the 15 people, just briefly, let me just share this in 2 seconds. So here, the reason in all this with improv in the brain is after we realized, and I realized it, and I wrote that little bookie on improv and social anxiety and everything, because I noticed right away that people are getting better, faster social anxiety in improv. And we know this for years. So people started studying it. Charles Lim is like studying the brains, brain waves. And while you're improvising, that side of the brain that controls the creativity, the language, lights up. All the electricity goes there. At the same time, that voice of doubt, the prefrontal cortex, there's a lot of quiet. So now it's like, wow, you get the best of both worlds. And Dr. Drinko says improv offers the tools to practice a different kind of focus that can change our brains and unlock our individual and group potential creativity. Those skills of listening, collaboration, creativity serve as a lens to discuss ways to improve our lives across a variety of fields. So that's really what we're talking about, is collaborative communication. And in terms of managing yourself, I added that managing the whole self in daily interaction. So self-regulation begins with self-awareness, and how much more aware are you than in improv? So I just wanted to quickly share that.
Could I add something to that?
Yeah, please, Guy, unless you want to
You
share
know-
some of that ice cream and cake you were eating for real. He
It's my
actually brought
wife.
ice cream and cake for real.
Sorry, it's my wife's birthday today, so I'm, but
Oh, excellent.
when we were doing all that, talking about self-regulation and stress management and stuff, because we had to focus on something that was kind of abstract. It brought us right into the moment, but it was in a playful way. It was like it shifted our brain in a playful way. So we had to forget our problems. We had to forget junk that's going on and engage in the moment with each other. So that was one thing I took away from that. What was so effective.
Thank you for bringing that up, Guy. Play is such an important part to being not just human. Animals need play too. It's how we learn. It's how we relieve stress. It's how we connect to each other. And humans, adults, don't give ourselves enough opportunity or license to play. So whether it's improv or anything else, go out, play. It's really vital to your health.
All right, I'm gonna go play right now. It's Saturday night, 6-year anniversary. I'm rocking. So thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. April, you're still with us, right?
I am. I'm just
I'm
gonna.
so sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just gonna. I just want to thank you and Jay first of all, and I want to thank everyone else for joining us today. It was wonderful. For more information on our upcoming Hope sessions and trainings, please head over to our website, and don't forget to click over to that survey real quick and just give Neil and Jay some rave reviews. So let us know what you thought. There's some upcoming trainings on the screen, and you can also see Neil and Jay, both Neil and Jay's websites and contact information. So if you want to grab that real quick, and thank you again. Thank you so much for sharing today.